Hello, I'm back with some more hottest current NBA player honorable mentions because thank you to everyone. Oh, it's time to engage Naughty Nona in this dancery. But I'm sad. Is this all as much naughtiness as I have left? We'll just have to suffer through together, enjoying a mango bubbly. It's alright. I wish it was alcohol, which is very on brand, drunk afternoon auntie. Um, so, lots of folks in the comments of my 10 hottest NBA players, what about this guy? What about this guy? What about this guy? So it really got me thinking, because it's my favorite thing to think about. Hot dudes, right? Hence, I'm wearing these chili pepper earrings, so really bringing the fire. So I grouped them because I realized, okay, there's like sort of themes that became apparent among, certain demos of players. Like, oh, I kind of like everyone in this category, or like, these are the best of this category. You'll see what I mean in a second. So, first off, too cute to be forgotten. Just guys that I think are cute that I forgot to bring up. Now, of course, I have a little bit of Mavs tunnel vision. Those are just the guys that I see the most. When I was still a hardcore Mavs fan, I'm now calling myself a lapsed Mavs fan. I still have I love the boys, but they're not playing anymore, so I gotta watch the other boys. And, I still listen to my podcast, and I have my local media guys that I'm attached to because I live in Dallas. But, right now, I'm a Lakers Rockets fan. And with a little bit of magic sprinkled in there. I was at a bar last night and saw some of the Magic Celtics game and was so happy that the Magic won. I just, it's fun to hate the Celtics. But you'll see, I still put Jaylen Brown on my hot guys. So I'm not a hater, but I did put multiple Celtics on my not hot guys. So, I do my best. I'm sorry if this light is emanating strange. Okay, so you can see my list. So I don't even here's who's going in the cute, but I don't really have anything more compelling to say about them other than whoop, 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 too many buttons. Najee Marshall. He, isn't a superstar, but he's had to play a lot for the Mavericks with everyone being definitely injured, and he had a weird long illness, but he is so cute. His eyelashes look like he's wearing 6 coats of mascara. I'm sure he's not, but he just looks so cute. Now, did my husband say he kind of looks like a bulldog? Yes, he's a little bit of a pushed in face, but in a really cute way. And I saw some interview where he was walking with a lady interviewer, and he just kept calling her ma'am. I don't know how much older she was than him, but he was also, towering over her. But I think that's cute. He just seems and I've tried to find something about him, trying to find anything negative, because I'm if he does not get traded over the summer, I would like to get a Najee Marshall jersey, because I just really support a guy who comes in and tries to do whatever he can. He may not be a superstar, but he is cute. And then also, due to my Mavs bias, Daniel Gafford. Is he losing his hair? Yes. He's 25. I can understand him being okay, I'm not ready to shave it. You'll see someone later that I think needs to give up the ghost and shave it. But, he wears the headband to cover up the hairline. I respect it. But he is, musculars. He's got muscles. And he is tall. And, thick thighs save lives. He's the total body package, if you ask me. And cute smile and beautiful eyes. I really should have found a better picture of his eyes. Kind of hazel eyes. I'm not really an eye guy, but he is very cute. And I really like his relationship with his wife. They are both from a smallish town in Arkansas that I have been to before. So I have this attachment to just them being from El Dorado, Arkansas. And her name is Deshandra. And she just seems so normal, which you don't always see with these NBA wives. Sometimes they seem they're trying to be hyper glam and hyper, like, I don't know, either polished or, you know, get a reality show kind of drama. But she just seems so regular, like we could be friends. If he doesn't get traded, which my husband does have a Gafford jersey, and Kobe doesn't get traded. Although it seems possible. Anything's possible. Hello, Jalen Williams. Not Jalen Williams, not Santa Clara Jalen Williams, the other Jalen Williams on the OKC Thunder. Okay, he is so cute. I actually wish. Can I zoom in a little bit? Like, this kind of captures everything. He got body. I like his braids. I like his smile. And he's just really handsome. Also, I believe he is the first person of Vietnamese heritage to play in the NBA, which, I don't know, is it weird to say I just like Vietnamese people? Like, I feel like, I went to, like, where I grew up is, had a lot of Vietnamese culture. I just feel an affinity, and he's really cute. I don't feel like he gets talked about enough because these are all role player type guys, you know, like he is not, what is he there? He's actually kind of like Daniel Gafford at this point, like third in line center wise. But hey, that doesn't diminish his cuteness to me at all. And Darius Garland. I admittedly am not someone who's following the Cavs super close. Like, once they started, you know, doing so phenomenally, I did kind of like check in a little bit, but I think I've said it before, they're just not like an extremely charismatic team, despite being really successful and good. But someone please explain to me, because, you know, I know what I know about basketball, but I'm far from an expert. But, you know, the fact that they were like so, I think I use the word dominant too much, but it does describe things well in basketball. Like, they've been so dominant in the regular season. But then everyone's like, I don't think they're coming out of the East. It's going to be the Celtics. Like, what are we saying this based on? Like, what is it that they're lacking that means they won't get through the playoffs? Like, I don't know. Is that just like, is someone, explain it to me like I'm a child. And like, why are people saying that? Or is it just something people say? You know, like, is there anything really to back it up? Or is it just like the Celtics are the reigning champions, so they're getting a little bit more of the benefit of the doubt? Anyway, look at his little smile. Look at his little smile and his little dimples. Cute. But some of these guys, I'm like, okay, they look cute, but like, you don't get anyone's full zhuzh unless you see a video of them talking, in my opinion. I mean, you need to see them play, but you need to see them talk. And that really tells you what you need. I need to know, like, how is the mouth moving? What does the voice sound like? Because there are men, Tim Hardaway Jr., who are so fine. Like, he is so handsome. He was a Maverick, but now he plays for the Pistons. And we were a little relieved because he is not playing amazing. And his dad will not shut the fuck up. But he's so hot, but his voice is not hot. Like, he can't help it. My voice isn't hot. I'm sorry you're listening to it right now. It's annoying as hell. But he just has like a little bit of a high-pitched voice for a hot basketball player, because sometimes I'm shocked by how deep these men's voices are. Like, Derek Lively Jr., again, on my Mav shit, he is too young for me to find hot. Like, if you're under 25, I have a hard time wondering about your hard time, you know? Like, you're just too young. I'm 42. But his voice, when he's talking, I'm like, okay, check in with me in 3 years, because his voice is so deep and so manly. I actually don't remember what Darius Garland's voice sounds like, but it didn't put me off, so I'm putting him on. Okay, now, is this Big Balkan Boys? The Big Balkan Boys. I mean, obviously Luka was my number one. There is something to that. I love a Big Balkan boy. Jokic doesn't quite making it. Jokic doesn't make the hot list. But do I think if I met him in person and we vibed that I would have any problems? No. But he doesn't take good care of his hair or his facial. He doesn't take good care of his head hair or his facial hair. He always looks a little bit a mess. Whereas Luka also looks a little bit a mess, but a little bit better. Like, he, doesn't just shave his head, and he doesn't just completely let his face be one big scraggle. But he's often getting a neckbeard situation that you're like, do you not have a barber? But still, like, better maintained. But these guys, These guys, for the most part, have it together. I believe I can't really see, but let me try to remember. Who did it have? Valanciunas, right? Jonas Valanciunas. Like, give me a damn break. He is hot. Also, I feel like he looks like the lost Balkan Kelsey brother. And I mean, you know, I'm not a Taylor Swift hoe. I'm not a football hoe, but the Kelsey brothers are hot. Like, I'm not going to lie. Like, they are big, beefy white guys with beards. Like, that is one of my demos. But he is like king beefy, king beefy beard. He keeps the haircut right, you know, like it's not scraggly. That beard is like kunk kunk kunk, like very in shape, and so is the body. He's like, I would say, of all the Balkan boys, if I didn't already have like an attachment to Luka, like he would be peak Balkan boy, but you know, there are other factors at play. I believe he's good at basketball, but I truly don't watch that many Kings games, and I'm not sure. I think maybe he was having a good year. But, you know, there's a lot of guys to keep track of. He was on the fence for me, Zubats, which I'm like, the way you pronounce his name is like Avicii. I don't remember. I watched multiple videos because I think the least you can do in life is try to say people's names correctly. And the fact that I'm still hearing people in the NBA saying Doncic is absolutely bananas. It's not that hard. I mean, it's hard, like, why do those two C's make the same sound and have different accents? I don't know, but you don't have to know. It's like, about to go on a little bit of a tangent, it's like pronouns. Like, just because you don't understand why somebody's going through like a gender identity journey, it actually doesn't affect you. Why don't you just show them a little bit of respect and just call them what they want? It doesn't hurt you. Especially if it's like a complete stranger, like, or just someone you know casually. Like, thinking about it any more than just doing it is actually wasting your time. And so it's the same thing with like, just try and show respect and say people's names to the degree that you can. I am not Balkan. I don't speak Croatian, but I think he's Croatian. No, he's from Bosnia-Herzegovina. I've learned so much about Yugoslavia and the countries in the former Yugoslavia. And who was that? I was watching a game, and it was I can't remember his name, but he's from Georgia, the country, not the state. And I was like, where's Georgia? And I'm like, Georgia is still part of Eastern Europe, but it's like a world away from the Balkans. You know, it borders Russia, but also the Middle East, and it's sort of there by Turkey. It's like very interesting over there. What was I talking about? I'm trying to say people's names right. Trying to spell it right. Oh, I mean, okay. Maybe if you're watching this, you may or may not be working like in the corporate world or like in jobs, like for your career, but you're in school maybe. Like, if you're having to write an email, if you're having to have a textual exchange with somebody, there are just basic things you should do to be respectful, which is, especially if you're responding to an email, their name is in the signature or in their email, you know, little descriptor. Just spell their name right. Like, that goes so far in making people feel seen. If their name is there written right in front of you, and it also just becomes a real thing that pisses them off. I have a very average spelled name, and like, it's not an issue for me, but like, I just know it is for other people who have like, if your name's Nicole, but you spell it with an H, or you have an E on the end, or whatever, you know, something that's not the norm or slightly different, like, just show that you're paying attention. People love that. I can't say his name, but I can say it's because it's more like Zubats, like to my American ears. It sounds like it's like an Indian BATZ. Obviously, that's not how it looks to me. But I listened to and that's all it takes. Like, I've worked with people who, you know, I've only talked to on email. And so in their last name, I'm like, I'm not sure how you say that. So let me just watch like a couple of YouTube videos and see roughly how you say it. It's very nice. These people, you know, they're going to survive because they have a lot of money, but I still think it's nice. I think it's nice to show respect, especially if it's a cultural name that is not familiar to you. Because so often people just like see a name that's unfamiliar to them and then their eyes cross and they just give up. And like, that's rude. Just try. And he has kind of an interesting, like, I don't know what's going on with his mouth. Like, kind of maybe like a little bit of a crooked thing, but it's cute. And he doesn't have like the best haircut, but the beard is right. I like the dark hair and the dark eyes, and he looks right. And now that Bogdanovich, which I do feel like Americans can say Bogdanovich because there's a very famous actor named, Peter Bogdanovich? But he's not actually like that big. Like most of these guys are like pushing 7 foot, He's like 6'5", which is tall. I know I've got a lot of debate in the comments about what's tall and what's average and what's normal. I consider 6'5" tall, but not freaky tall. Does that help? I mean, because talking about normal and average, that was really triggering. Clearly some short kings. But I don't care. I don't care about height. I can appreciate literally almost any height or body shape. Like I'm down for whatever. But he's not as big as these other guys. He's not a big Balkan boy. He's like bigger than average Balkan boy. But he's really cute. Like, I kind of feel like he sometimes gets this bad haircut. Like, sometimes he gets the straight across kind of mow hair, and you're like, that is a problem. That is diminishing your good looks, sir Mr. Bogdanovich. But when he's right, he's right. But it was, like, hard to find a good picture of him. But, like, he's a cutie. And then, Yusuf Nurkic. He is also cute, but it was also a little bit of a struggle because I'm like, he is also more redheaded than you usually see from this part of the world. And like his beard gets really, really red. And then sometimes he's had some haircuts where it's like carrot top. But here, which is sort of interesting. I think it's like the longer the hair gets, like the ends get red, but then the roots are dark. So if his hair is shorter, it's not as red. I know you've been pondering this, but he is a cutie. And he has sweet eyes. Like, they're not quite the sad boy eyes, but they're like kind of, I don't know, a little sad, a little elfish eyes, little sweet eyes. And I was watching an interview with him just to kind of like get the vibes. And I think it was him talking about how he didn't get to fly back home to see his grandmother before she died, and it was really sweet. But it was also like this Eastern European, like death is part of life. But he was also really sad. I like that dichotomy. Luca expresses it too, where he can be really emotional, but he can also be really like matter of fact. I feel like that's how I am. I don't know. I've never done 23andMe. I don't know where I'm from, but England, Scotland, that area. But I relate to being practical and emotional because I don't think you have to be one or the other. We're getting philosophical up in here. The body queens. Now, I do not want anyone to take that wrong. I watch a lot of Drag Race, and I'm like, I just like gay culture, and a body queen is like a drag queen that has muscles. But for some reason, this was just the only term I could think of to describe these guys who have hot bodies. And that are like, it's not like they're not cute otherwise, who don't bring other things to the table, but it's sort of like the first thing I think of is like, but ow, check out these guns. And also, he just has that like hot vibe of like New Zealand, all the tribal tats, the long hair, and the facial hair. And if you see pictures of him when he was young, you're like, oh, he was not really that hot until he bulked up, got the tats, grew the facial hair and the long hair. Like he found the look that works for him, and it works for me. And I was at a Super Bowl party, and the girl that I was talking to, she didn't care about sports, football or otherwise, but she had weirdly seen videos of him, like that video of him helping people up, because he's like a nice guy and he's hot. So even women who are not following the NBA, they're still plugged into how hot he is. Is this Bam Adebayo? Then I just started Googling these guys shirtless. Yeah, I did. But something about him, he looks kind of mad. Something about Bam Bam Bam, muscles, and Bam Bam Bam, Bam Adebayo, and the chain. The chain is working for me, shirtless. And I mean, he is just like, he's just a handsome man, but doesn't have a lot of like strong identifying features. And so I think that's kind of probably why I forget about him, but I can identify that, sir. And it's sweet that he's dating Asia Wilson, I think. I like in the WNBA when the ladies date each other. I like when a WNBA player dates an NBA player. One day maybe we'll have NBA players dating each other. That's the America liberals want. Lou Dort, in the same series of pictures, he had gotten a t-shirt that said the torture chamber, which I think is funny. I don't like when he puts a player I'm rooting for in the torture chamber because he will hurt a bitch, but like, you can hurt me with damn muscles. He's sort of holding his hand strangely in that picture, but you can see he has a cute smile too. I think that's important to me. Cute smile, big muscles, stay a while. And when he's got them in the torture chamber, well, call me a masochist because I want to get on the wait list. Okay, Desmond Bane, I don't really see play all that much. Does he play for Memphis? I think so. But look at those arms. Like, they almost look like there's so much muscle, they've gotten shorter than they should be. But I actually included 2 pictures of him because I'm like, that doesn't look real. Those look like dinner rolls, not muscles. But the arms are arming. And now, again, my Mavericks is showing. When I first started watching, Grant Williams was still on the team, and he's such a weirdo. We really grew an affection for him because he is so weird. Because he's like a nerd, but I mean, they have similar. That's why am I talking about Grant Williams? I feel like he looks like Grant Williams if Grant Williams was hot. Whenever I see him, at first I'm always like, is that Grant Williams? Like from afar, because they have very similar builds and like skin tones, but he doesn't have the just like weird nerd energy that Grant Williams has, which I appreciate. Remember when he dressed up like Batman? And then when we were watching the games at first, they'd show those little videos over and over again of like them asking them questions, like dumb little social media questions. And they asked him like, what's a food that he likes that's weird or a weird food combination? And he just said something like, I really like popcorn. So we just called him popcorn. And so I've been calling him hot popcorn. But I mean, the arms speak for themselves. I guess I'm an arm girl, but that's the thing I like about basketball is you see the arms, like, bam, unless they're wearing a sleeve, and you see some thigh action, but it's arms mostly, unless you Google them shirtless, which I've been known to do. Zion, I know people get on him about his weight, as we know. I don't mind that. I like a big boy, and he's a cute smile. And I just think he's a hot guy. I know he's had like some stuff like with some ladies, like maybe his stalker like physically attacked his girlfriend, but I know he like spent a lot of money on some girl, like an OnlyFans model, like maybe like millions of dollars. I don't remember all the details. So, there's risks when you give very young men a lot of money and fame. And I do wish him nothing but the best. And it sucks to be so young and so injury prone and to like have such potential. But when he's reached his potential in hotness. Okay, then the unks. We're going to talk about the old guys. Now, some of this is based on how they looked when they were young and also how they look now. But I mean, you hope you get married and you stay married for a long time. The person you're with ain't gonna look like that forever, but you are still kind of riding on the attraction you had when you were young and the love you have. So it's like, I'm married to these guys. Okay, Kyrie is a controversial man, but he's had such a good time, like a good run at Dallas. Other than tearing his ACL. But, he really rehabbed his image, and I love that for him. So I'm finally able to say he is hot. it can be a little bit corny, yes. I mean, the way he dresses is not for me. Sometimes I call him Kyrie earring because he's wearing one really long earring. But I also, it's part of him like really embracing his indigenous roots, which I love. Like, but he's wearing like, these like weird baggy clothes. He kind of looks like a little bit like a guy that's too old to be hanging around the college, and he's kind of a drug dealer. Like, that's his style. But, and of course this video is from when he was young, but when he was younger, in Cleveland. But I just find it so cute. And he still dances some. Like, I think he's a charming man. I feel like his teeth, he must have gotten veneers. And so I think that's a little bit, I don't like his veneers. It just makes you look very generic, But he does keep it tight. Have you ever seen the movie Uncle Drew? Is that what it was called? It was kind of stupid. No Shoes in the Boom Boom Room. But it was also very entertaining. And I enjoyed it. And he will take a shirt off, Like, because he knows he's keeping it tight, even at his old age of 32, or how old he is. Kevin Love, he isn't actually as old as I thought he was. I think he's only 35, maybe. But the gray hair. I love gray hair. And it's funny, it's not really something I ever gave that much of a thought to until my husband's hair turned gray. And I was kind of like, ooh, silver fox. He is otherwise just a very generic looking white man, but silver fox. When you're like the only silver fox out there, it really is eye-catching to a lady like myself. Russell Westbrook. I almost put him on Body Queens. Like, he keeps it ripped. And this is my favorite picture of him because how often in our world do we see a man in a shirt that shows cleavage and it's under cleavage? Like, this is a miraculous feat. And I will always give him respect for that. I know he's kind of an unpleasant player sometimes and can be kind of obnoxious. And I almost like that about him. I feel like he still has a ton of energy for his age. He is still fit as hell, because whenever I see a little video of him like dancing and singing on the bench, like, his shoulders are so broad. And I'm like, he's just hot. He's hot to me. He always has strange facial hair, but he makes up for it in muscles. And then Draymond, I know it's crazy to find Draymond hot. Like, I am aware, but he's kind of got those like protruding donkey teeth. I've heard people say that doesn't bother me. I love teeth of all different, varieties. I like that he's got gray in his beard. I like his raspy voice, and I like that he's a psychopath. So of course, got to show him trying to strangle Goober Grape, which is what I've started calling Gobert. Do you remember Goober Grape? It was like peanut butter and jelly in a jar together. So Goober Grape. But I don't know. I think he's funny. I will listen to like clips from his podcast sometimes. And, I've just developed an affection for him. And there's that commercial for that car with his daughter. I think that's cute. I can't help what I like. And then finally, LeBron. There was a lot of questions about how I felt about LeBron and how I left him off my hot. But he's also off my least hot. Like, I don't find him disgusting or anything. But I just really had to think it through. Because I'm like, why does he not connect for me on that? I mean, he is ripped, undeniably. Fit, kind of in an inexplicable way. And the way he plays. I mean, last night was the Game 3 Lakers-Timberwolves game. And people were saying this is a turn back the clock game. Like, because poor Luka had a stomach bug. I was just happy to shit himself on the floor. That would have been really embarrassing in the yellow, in the purple, you could kind of hide it. This is the first thought I had. And so seeing him go off like that at his mature age of 2 years younger than me is hot. No bones about it. Lots of boners about it. And he's got a great beard. He keeps it trimmed and it's lush. Now, what's not so lush, so, this is really giving you everything you want. Being dominant, being muscly, having a beard. But I don't love the hair situation. I think when we're 40, we're coming to terms. We're shaving it off. We're going to Turkey and getting hair transplants, you know. To me, that would be hot if he was like, okay, this hair's not coming back. The hair is out the door. And so this will always make me laugh because I saw someone like caption it. He's brushing his hair. Like, that's pretty funny. And he's just kind of corny. Like, his celebrations are like stupid. Like, it's like too much. Like, it needs to be something quick and dirty, you know. And then like him with the powder, like he just, but all of that is to say, he's just very overexposed. He's just, even long before I ever followed basketball, I've been seeing him, and because he is so divisive, it's very easy to not like him if you are, for a variety of reasons. If you just find him, you find it annoying how much other people glaze him. I had explained what that meant to my husband last night. You have a knee-jerk reaction to want to anti-glaze him, or you just don't root for whatever team he's, because the Lakers are already a pretty hated team if you aren't rooting for them, because they're just have won too many championships and they are too blessed to be stressed, like they just always seem to get what they want, such as Luka or whatever. And so it's like that combined, and then like playing for Cleveland, leaving Cleveland, going back to Cleveland, playing for Miami, like, that caused a lot of people to be butthurt. I mean, not even people in Cleveland, like, but it's just like weird when these narratives become hot and people buy into them even though it has absolutely no effect on them. Like people will be like, oh, Kevin Durant's a ring chaser. He should have never left Oklahoma. It's like, let him be. Let people do what they want to do professionally. But I will say it was a little bit more of a thing. I mean, I guess, being that LeBron was from Akron and, near Cleveland, like that being his home team and then leaving, that, that will ruffle some feathers. But I just feel like he's been around for so long, it's just easy to develop an annoyance at him. But since I've only recently gotten invested in basketball, I don't have all of those preconceived hang-ups, so I should not hold that against him. Taco Tuesday was annoying. I don't really actually love his teeth. Like, he has a little bit of an underbite, but that can work for me. So does Shangoon. But I feel like I can't let the desire to be anti-LeBron, or like the wave of being anti-LeBron, paint it, because if this man was like, if he slid into my DMs and was like, hey, I saw you talking about me on the internet, I love my wife Savannah, but I am interested in an old white woman of thickness and I'm curious what's up, I would be like, well, sir, I'm married, but thank you. But I would be like, I wouldn't be grossed out, So the verdict is he's hot. But that is my honorable mentions. Please let me know who you think I've left off. Now, I know people, are shocked and alarmed that some of the pretty boys don't make my list, but that's just like not my vibe. Like Cade Cunningham, handsome, but just not my type. And those kind of just like handsome light-skinned boys are just not for me. But let me know, do you have any, what I really want to know is like your hot picks, like your weird ones, where you're like, no one else ever talks about it being hot, but he's hot to me. Like I got Kelly Olynyk, he's not someone people are talking about being hot, but if that's your type, long hair, long face, then he's going to be your catnip. Just like, I don't know, Drew Holiday is my catnip. Everyone's got their like, or Shangoon, or any other big bulking boys. We all have our types. I mean, you can kind of see like, you're picking up what I'm putting down. But I mean, there's a lot of men. Ooh, I could do, well, you see, that's my problem. Because I don't like these young guys. I was like, I could do like, you know, the incoming rookies. So, I mean, I could do, you know, probably wouldn't be hot. It'd be like, who's the cutest? Because of this last year, who is the cutest? Risha Shea? I'm not sure. You know, not Zach Edey. Although, I mean, he has a very distinctive look. You cannot deny that. You know, you already saw what I think about Jared McCain. But my friend, we were watching, it was before the Lakers game started last night. The Magic Celtics game was on. And no, well, it was on. But my friend that doesn't really follow basketball, one of the Wagners was up there. I can't remember which one, the one that's not injured. And she was like, well, who is he? So it's like, she was like, hubba hubba. And I've never even like registered them as cute. I think they are, but they always have kind of scraggly, like crustache. Like their facial hair situation is problematic. And it makes them look younger, you know, when you have kind of like a weak little mustache. So maybe either once their hair starts growing or they shave it. I'll be more into the Wagner boys. But was it Franz and Mo was sitting? I don't know. But then the Timberwolves Lakers game started and she was like, so does Ant make the list? And I'm like, you know, it's not fair. I know it's going to hurt him deeply. But, you know, he is obviously very cute, like in the face. He's very ripped in the body and he's very charismatic in the gameplay. But he just seems so young. Like in his personality, he's very funny and confident, but in like such a kid way and just kind of has a kid face. And I'm like, okay, give me a few years. Like, let's let him age up a little bit before I feel like it's like creepy. Even though he is of age. But those are my hot honorable mentions, and we'll reconvene once I come up with another idea. I know retired players, that's on my to-do list, but there's just a lot of retired players. Because I almost put Gorgon Dragic. See, that's me not being quite sure how to say his name. Dragic or Dragic. I don't know. I have to look it up before I put him officially in a video. I'll have to put him on a retired. Because he is very handsome. But he's a big Balkan boy, but retired. And I mean, JJ Redick, he is your classic, generic, hot white guy. And I don't know, like, I don't want to like it, but I see him and I go, that guy's hot. You can't fight City Hall. But, like, that's going to be a process. Not to be confused with the process. Embiid is not hot. I'm sorry. He picks his butt and smells it before he shoots free throws. Like, that's going to kick you off any hot list. Sorry. I'm sure his wife finds him hot. I actually don't know if he's married. But I think he is. But if you have any other ideas, please leave me some. If you think I have no place to judge other people's appearances because I'm so disgusting, please leave a comment because I love engagement. So I will respond probably in like a kind of snarky way and hope that you respond back to me because the more you engage with me, the more people will see my videos. So, but if you say something really nasty, I think YouTube will block it. So try to be creative and also just like say nice things too. I would appreciate that. I would really like to ingratiate myself in the YouTube basketball space. Like, let me get a spot. Let me make an appearance on Deep 3. Let me talk to Isaac. Isaac's my favorite because I feel like he is the most Luka forward. Like, well, he's a Lakers fan, so that's part of it. But I do also just feel like he's always had like a fair view of Luka in a way that a lot of like national people don't. You know, it's very easy to get into the being more judgmental. So I feel like he kind of deserved, I've already gone on this rant, that he kind of deserved Luka to be on his team because he's always been like not a hater. But anyway, Donovan went to UT. I didn't go to UT, but he did. And that's in Texas. A lot of my friends went to UT, so I felt attachment to him. Anyway, I would have things to talk about with them. That's what I'm saying. And of course, What Slaps? He's my favorite. I watch all of his videos. I love that he responds to all the comments. I feel like he and I should collab. And all the Mavs media guys, Slightly Biased, Locked On Mavs, Chat Sports, We Talk Mavs, although I think they changed their name. Like, have me on. I'm bringing there because there's not enough ladies talking about basketball, like real deal Holyfield. Now, is my perspective maybe not so much focused on the gameplay? Sure, but don't you want more? I mean, the NBA is hemorrhaging viewers, so maybe you need more women talking about these hot men's to juice the stats. Did you ever think about that? Anyway, keep moving.